Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language.
Colty is everything to me. I want to see him in his weird, goat beard. Just, I don't know, sitting on the counter with a mini glass, playing his slots machine. I'm here for it all with Colty.
Can you imagine him walking around the resort in his little like Lord of the Rings robe that he wears with his goat beard?
It's Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we either have a fat cat or a razor blade. And I'm sure I'm a fat cat. I don't even have to look.
I know I too am a fat cat. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean,
I didn't know it was a thing.
I've seen enough, shall we say, adult entertainment to know that these things come in
different sizes and shapes.
Different sizes and shapes. All are great. All good.
But I didn't know there were names.
I did not know there were names for it. I did not know. And I didn't need to know. And I certainly did not need to know from Angela.
No.
No.
I am your fat cat Amy Archer today. And I am here with my lovely co-host, Amanda Lipnack-Radell, who has her little apron on and is getting ready to brown some brisket. What are you doing over there?
I already have browned the brisket. Shana Tova to all of our Jewish listeners out there. Rosh Hashanah starts tonight. And so I browned a brisket. I just set up some focaccia. After this, I made kosher chicken stock last night. And so there'll be matzo ball soup. There'll be roasted chicken. There will be brisket. There will be roasted vegetables.
Do you feel like explaining to your fellow atheist here what Rosh Hashanah actually is? Like what the observation is?
It's Jewish New Year.
Okay.
It's exactly what it is. So it's Jewish New Year. So it starts at sundown tonight. It ends at sundown on Sunday. You go to services. There's a lot of services. I will just be attending what's called the Torah service, which is where they actually bring out the Torah. They march it around the sanctuary, and then you read from it. Todd will actually be reading Torah on Sunday.
It's exciting.
He is. He is very tied to his Judaism, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love watching him read Torah. Here's funny. So when we got married, for all listeners out there, my father is Jewish. My mother is not. I was raised basically a heathen. All good. There was a lot of things we had to go through when we got married, because we got married in a synagogue. And one of which was I had to take on a Jewish name, which I did, which is Ruth, which is after a very cool great aunt that I had. She passed away. If I'd had a daughter, her name would have been Ruth. But throughout the service, because we had it Saturday night right after sundown was the end of Shabbos. So there's a ritual you do. I don't want to say a thing. A ritual you do. I do not know enough to explain what it is, but Todd is the one who did it, and you read a lot of Hebrew. Well, apparently, as this is happening, my father's like, oh shit, if the kid has to read Hebrew, meaning me, she's screwed. She don't know anything. And he said he was like holding his breath the whole time, like, oh God, is she gonna have to read Hebrew? No, I had to read. The only thing I had to say was, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine, which thankfully our rabbi prompted me through.
He guided you through. Yeah.
She
guided you through. Yeah.
She's awesome. So,
but I forgot that's a religion where you can actually have women in positions of authority.
Depending on which flavor of Judaism you are into. Our rabbi is a Reconstructionist rabbi, but our synagogue is unaffiliated. I know just enough to probably be offensive at some point, because I will say the wrong thing and think I'm right. So I will stop. But long story short, we have my in-laws coming tonight and tomorrow night, and maybe some friends, and my mom will be here tomorrow night, even though she's not Jewish, but she loves to come over and tell me what to do. So that'll be great. And so it's a big meal that you got to make.
Well, I will also be participating in some traditional Catholicism this weekend, because
yes, you will.
As you know, Timmy's father passed yesterday. And I mean, he had a long battle with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay.
And he had brain cancer, and it was just a long battle. So we are relieved that he's at rest. And,
Mhm.
now we're just trying to take care of my mother-in-law, who November 30th, they would have been married 60 years.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's great.
That
And they
is
they
nuts.
actually still liked each other,
Oh, I'm so
which
sad for her.
which is crazy. So thankfully we built our house kind of
Right.
right
You're
in
right
her
there.
backyard, essentially. So we're right here, but it's still, she's living alone for the first time in 60 years, and
Right. Yeah,
it's
and I imagine just based on when my ex-husband's father passed away and, you get so caught up in all the I think there's a reason you have a ritual of funerals because it helps you. Which
yes.
sort of gives you
Yes.
something to do in those first few days.
Yeah.
It's like the week later once everything's done, and most people, despite no matter how much they love you or the person who passed, they have to go back to their regular lives. And then you're like, "Oh, now what do I do?"
That's when the sacred loneliness begins, Amanda.
Oh, I
Mm.
see. Well,
Mhm.
if your mother-in-law is interested in becoming a polygamist wife, I mean, she'll be sacredly lonely, but,
Yeah, I'm sure
there's
Cody will be
there's valor
looking
in that.
around.
Jesus Christ on a
Um,
cracker, literally.
yeah, it was a journey. It was a lot of up and down, as many of you caretakers know. It's a lot of up
Mhm.
and down, and this is it, no, it's not, and yes, it is, and no, it's not, and so
Yeah,
here we are. So,
here we are.
I'll be taking my girls to a church,
Is
probably
this
for the first time, ever.
I was gonna say, have they ever been to a church
No,
before?
uh-uh.
Wow.
No, because the only other person that they know that died was my gram,
Mhm.
and we did not have a service for her.
Okay.
We just had first of all, it was the day before Christmas Eve, and we just had a quick viewing because that's all she wanted. She was an atheist.
Got it.
She was an
Well,
atheist who loved the Jews.
I mean, the Jews are pretty awesome.
Hmm.
We've got a
Yeah, but
lot of
there's a problem with that. She loved the Jews, okay,
Okay.
but she always said there were only three perfect men.
Oh god,
My
okay.
father, which okay,
Sh
he was her son-in-law for 25 years, but okay.
So not even her son. Okay, got
Nope,
it.
nope. My grandfather.
Okay. Her
I'm
husband.
I'm sorry, there were four.
Okay.
My uncle Bobby, her son,
Okay.
and Jesus.
Um, I mean, from if what we say about Jesus is true, he sounds like a great guy.
I'm
Like,
like, just believe whatever you want, Graham. If you want to
right.
be Jewish and think Jesus is awesome, go ahead. I don't know how that works, but go ahead.
Right. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jews don't disavow Jesus.
Right.
He's a
Right.
good dude.
Yeah. They
He
just don't
just is
think he's, yeah.
Messiah.
Right. Yeah. I think
That's
she
it.
did. I think she did and believed in Judaism.
Well, my Jewish stepmother has a big Christmas tree every year. So you know what? You do what makes
You
you
just mix and
happy.
match. Who
Yeah, yeah.
cares?
I figure at the end of the day, if you're a good person and you
Mhm.
take care of
Mhm.
other people,
Mhm.
what you believe in your heart is really not that important. Though I
I
did have
agree.
someone in college ask me when I said I was an atheist, how I knew not to kill people.
Well,
And
this is the problem. A lot of
right.
people associate religion with morality, and I have a
Right.
real problem with that.
I do too. And I have a real problem with the idea of like the only reason I don't go and on a murder spree is because God would be mad at me. Like that's the only thing that's keeping me in line. That's
Right,
the weird thing to me.
that's the only thing keeping you
That
from the
that
murder
is the
spree.
thing between me and just going out and
Yep.
killing
Yep.
everybody and robbing and like I
Yeah.
don't understand that at all. But there are people.
People said that to me and Timmy all the time because we did not have the girls baptized,
Okay.
and people would say to us all the time, like, "What about their morality? What about," and I'm like, "We can teach them good morals as their
Right.
parents. Like, they can be good humans
Yeah.
without having to have the guidebook."
Add me to the non-baptized club.
Oh, there you
Um,
go.
yeah,
There you go.
we did none of those things. I didn't have well, obviously I didn't have a bris because I'm not a penis having
I did
person.
the whole Roman Catholic. I have all my
Yeah.
sacraments. I told you I'm godmother to 85 children because I'm the only one in the family that has my sacraments. Not in the family, but in my extended.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a friend whose father who has since passed away, but even before he died, he's the only person that most people had ever met who has had all 7 sacraments because he was a priest, but he left the
Oh,
priesthood to marry my
okay.
friend's mom,
Okay.
and he was in a horrible car accident when my friend was 10,
Oh.
and they thought he was going to die. He
So they
didn't
gave him his
till
last rites?
she had last rites too. So
Ooh,
he had had the whole thing,
the whole enchilada.
a whole enchilada, and he didn't die until 2 years ago.
He
So
had the whole Jesus enchilada.
he did, and he was the sweetest. He was just a sweet, sweet man, and
Mm, mm,
I miss getting to see him from time to time because he was just a lovely human. But yeah,
yeah.
he's the only person that most people would ever have met who had the whole enchilada of sacraments.
All right. Well, that's enough somber news today and religion talk.
From
We
religion,
are
let's talk about Kamasutra.
now let's talk about Angela and a blow-up doll.
Yet, actually, Kama Sutra's yet. I mean, it's another cultural thing.
It
Anyway,
is.
I'm
It is.
trying to. I am trying to create a bridge where there is no bridge to
A
be had.
nice segue. Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
here it
Guys,
helps.
just a quick note that we are doing Sister Wives season 18 on Patreon and Supercast.
Mhm.
It's called Little Miss Recap Extra. Links are in the show notes. Many of you signed up already. I hope you're enjoying the coverage. We're going to try weekly to do I'm calling it, the official name is Fridays with Friends Move Over Mary Brown.
I
That's
love
the
it.
official name.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to be throwing a few more of those out. Steph is on deck, so she'll be doing one with me probably next Friday. We were going to do one this Friday, but
You're a
death
little
happened.
busy.
So,
Death,
yeah.
death happened,
Um,
dagnabbit. Getting in the way of your planning.
So
Yeah.
we will be doing that next week. So that's what you'll get on Patreon and Supercast. So
One
join
more
us over
plug
there.
for Patreon. If you sign up, you don't get to hear commercials anymore
That's true.
for
That's
stuff like
true.
this.
Yeah,
You
and
get it ad free.
you
It's
don't
exciting.
you don't have to hear Ryan Reynolds talk about his Mint Mobile phone or whatever he's talking about on there.
I don't know.
I
I
hear
listen
that
to
all
this
the time.
feed.
I'm like,
I listen to this feed, so I don't even know what we're hawking over there.
that's what we're talking. Ryan Reynolds. I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
All
Could
right.
be
So
way
today we're
worse.
talking Last Resort Season 1, Episode 6, Last Licks. Ugh.
Ugh. There was so much of this that was okay. There was some really interesting revelations.
There were.
We really saw the end of a relationship,
Yes.
and
Agreed.
I never need to see Ed and Liz simulate sex again.
Okay, I have a hot take on that. That's not going to be
Okay,
popular.
that's
A
okay.
hot take
Yeah.
means not popular, right? I don't need that's redundant to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, hot take
Um,
means that it's something that
yes.
other people won't be thinking of or
Yeah.
won't agree with.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll get to it. So, hit us. Where are
All
we
right.
going?
So we're going to do the girls scene first. So we had some group
Okay.
scenes. So we're going to do the girls scene. So they're having a party I think it's in Molly's room.
It is
Yes.
in Molly's room.
And Molly has brought a bunch of her lingerie. Claims she didn't know who else was coming, yet has chosen sizes that are pretty close to what they are.
That are perfect for everybody. And again, I did the Molly bra fitting. That woman can look at you and tell you exactly what size bra you need to wear. She knows her
I need to do
shit.
this with her.
It is so amazing. First of all, she's just a delight, though. I think she's, in her real life, she's turning slightly problematic, but that doesn't matter for this purpose. But yeah,
She's chilling with Janelle and those guys.
yeah, I know. She's on the Plexus train as well. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you just get on a Zoom, not too dissimilar from this. You bring a tape measure, and she made me take off my shirt and show her my bra and tell her what my complaints were. And my complaint was really that my strap was falling down all the time and it drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's because you have the wrong size band. I think you're probably this versus that. Can you measure for me? And she was exactly right.
Mm.
And then she was like,
Okay.
what cup do you wear? And I told her, she's like, no, you're way off. And you need like 3 cup sizes bigger, but
I
a
know.
smaller
I can
band.
remember. I have to tell guys, fast forward if you don't want to hear about my boobs.
Who wouldn't?
I can remember up until I was maybe 25, 26, and I was always a very big busted woman.
Uh-huh.
I was still stuffing these things into a triple D.
Oh,
What?
right.
What?
Yeah.
I went to Lane Bryant has that Intimates store that's
Yeah.
connected to it.
Cacique.
Thank you. And I went
Yes.
there. I forgot the name of it. I went there and they were like, no, you're in like a G, honey. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And I
Yeah.
put it on. I was like, oh, this is how it's supposed to feel.
Right.
All this fat goes in there.
Yeah, I was rocking like a double or triple D when I met with her, and she was like,
Yeah.
"No, honey, you're
No.
like an HI or J." It depends on the bra, and like even
Yeah.
that, even to the point she'd be like, "Okay, so I'm going to send you this brand, and this is the size you're that. This brand is an entirely different size thing, and so that's it. So the sizes are not like all
I
women's
need to get
clothing.
out on this train.
None of which are the same. Well
Yeah.
worth every damn penny.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am not above. I'll show her the whole enchilada.
Oh, and
I don't care.
Todd has a thing for Molly. He thinks she's quite lovely to look at.
She's so cute.
She's so cute. And for like weeks, he's like, Molly saw your boobs. Molly saw your boobs. It was so cute. I'm like, yes, honey, Molly saw my boobs. Did you want to be in the room when I wouldn't have cared he was in the room. I mean, do you want to watch Molly look at my boobs? I don't care.
And go over there.
Molly saw your boobs. Yes, honey, he saw my boobs. But anyway, we have the great lingerie try on.
Yes, yes. And so first, before we get there, there's some awkward tension between Liz and Angela, as we know from the big fight. And somebody put Angela screaming at Liz up against the alien in Sigourney Weaver's face.
I saw
and
that.
It was perfect. Perfect.
It was. It's exactly what it is.
Yep. So Liz caves first, and Angela then just, crumbles. And she's like, I love you, girl. I love you. And she's hugging her and, whatever. All right. So now we get the lingerie try on. And there is some talk about the shape of your vagina.
Yes.
And whether or not you are a fat cat or a razor blade.
I have to tell you, when I was reading your notes that you sent me, I was like, what are we talking about here? How is this coming up? And now I know. I know.
Yep.
Yeah. But hey, fat cats unite, girl.
Fat cats unite.
Here we are.
So Liz models her lingerie, and she looks, and you could tell she feels amazing.
She looks fucking stunning in that.
She looks stunning.
People aren't watching, because I think some people are just listening to us and not watching. She's in this like royal blue sort of bralette thing, so it came down a little bit under her breasts, and matching panties that weren't skimpy. I mean, they were full butt coverage. They had like a little bit of the cage.
They were like a brief almost.
They were like a brief.
Yeah.
She looked fucking stunning. The color was perfect.
Yeah, and then she had on like a sheer shirt or robe over it.
Yeah. She looked amazing.
She looked amazing. So then
she's a beautiful girl. I think she's a beautiful girl when she doesn't look so beaten down by Ed.
Yes, she looks so tired.
Yeah. When she's not around him, she looks a lot better.
Get thee to a bed.
Yeah.
Take to your bed.
Take to your bed and dump his ass, but we know that didn't happen.
I know. Ugh. So Yara says she has a hard time. She feels really insecure, and Molly is fantastic in this moment.
Molly's really great at this.
Molly sits down and says, I want to hear more about that. Tell me more about this. So Yara says, growing up, Molly says, tell me a little bit about that, sweet pea. I love her little sweet pea.
I do too. And I mean, this is a huge part of, I'm sure, Molly's business is helping women feel okay in their bodies. Like, she does this all day, every day.
100%. And she has the exact right personality to do it.
Absolutely.
So Yara says growing up, it was a cultural thing that she had to be perfect. And she says her mom would even tell her that she was chunky or that her nose was too big. And this explains so much.
Everything about Yara. Yep. Why she got a new face.
Yep.
And all of it. And she was stunning before, and she's stunning now.
She's crying, and she says, Jovi tries to understand, but he won a bunch of beauty pageants as a kid, so he's secure. And so you saw the Seinfeld episode with the upper hand, right? Who has the upper hand in the relationship?
Yeah.
Yara, you have the upper hand.
She thinks he does.
Stop giving it away.
She thinks he's the catch. She thinks he's the catch.
Yara, you're the catch. You're the catch.
Absolutely.
We need to send her a shirt that says, I have the upper hand. I'm the catch.
Yes. Oh, I know. I know there are some folks in our group who are not Yara fans like we are.
I'm a Yara fan. I'm a big Yara fan. And I also really like Jovi. I know that's not a super popular opinion. And he acts up later in this episode.
He does.
But I do like Jovi. And I think a lot of that is an act. I think he really does love Yara.
I do too.
I don't know.
They're fine.
So we do get pictures of, Yara's like, he grew up with Miss Gwen and she put him in beauty pageants, and we get pictures of Jovi as a look in the beauty pageant, and I'm here for this.
Yeah, it was adorable. I would like just to have coffee hour with Miss Gwen.
Me too. Me too.
I think Miss Gwen is a delight, and I would like to know a lot more about her.
Molly tells her, you are absolutely beautiful. Like, she's really good with her.
Yeah.
And okay, so then we see Kalani, and Kalani comes out, and she's more in like a sexy nightgown, right? It's like a lace top.
Yeah.
It's red.
It was red. It was strange. I was trying to figure out what was happening on her bottoms because it almost looked like she was wearing bike shorts.
Yeah, she was definitely wearing something under.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe
Maybe
everything fit on
sheer.
top, or it was too sheer for her comfort to be on
It was probably too sheer.
TV with. Because I mean, Kalani, yeah, the girls are out quite often, but she does dress relatively modestly. We've
Sure.
yet to see her in a bathing suit
Oh, true. Mm-hmm.
in this
Does she get a
incarnation. We've
swim
seen everybody
dress,
else.
like an Amy Archer swim dress?
She might. She might. And Kalani's stunning, but I think she's too modest for it.
Yeah. So then Yara comes out in her little leopard print something or other, and
Fucking
she's
A,
got a
man.
silky red robe on, and she looks amazing.
Oh, she's not my type. I mean, of the times that I could be a lady loving lady,
Yeah.
she's not my type. I think she's stunning. She could
my
almost have been
type?
my type then. No, I'm a Kate Winslet girl.
She's not really my type
girl.
either. She's not really
Yeah.
my type either.
I like an older lady. I like a lady with some
But in the
meat on
90-day
her bones.
universe, who would be your type?
In the 90-day universe, who would be my type? That's a really great question. I always thought Emily and Kobe was really pretty. I liked her a lot. I mean, I didn't like her. I thought she was obnoxious. I like her now. I loved her interview with Mary Payne on Pink Shade. If folks haven't listened to that, you should.
Yes.
It really makes her seem much more human than the show did. I think she's a stunner. I think there's a lot of really beautiful ladies. Oh, the one that I really was into would have been Amy and Danny of a million
I was going to say
ago,
Amy.
that we've talked about before.
She's beautiful. And also, I really liked, okay, get ready. Who was the one, the guy, it was one of the first seasons, and the guy was in a boy band.
Oh, Ymir and Chelsea.
Chelsea. I was into Chelsea.
Okay.
I like Chelsea a lot.
I knew Chelsea smelled like too much patchouli for me.
She did have a little patchouli.
I know.
smell,
I
probably.
can tell you exactly what Chelsea smelled like.
Yeah.
Friends of mine circa
But I felt like she
90,
was
yeah.
natural.
She was very naturally lovely.
And I kind of dig that. Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Danielle of Danielle and Muhammad. So she was my... I'm just kidding.
Well, I was going to say Angela, but okay. Speaking of, she comes out wearing a baby doll, Teddy, and I need to singe my eyes out with the lit cigarette. I mean, it's so bad.
To see it.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Guys, I'm not body shaming her. It's just because it's her.
It is because
Full
it's her.
package
Though,
is
I will say, this thing fit her better than anything else we've seen on her.
True.
It actually fit her body.
Yes.
So props to Molly, but yeah.
And then, of course, Angela has to take it too far, and she motorboats Kalani against her will.
Ugh.
It's gross. Okay.
I don't think Angela's ever heard of the word consent.
Oh, no. That's just liberal crap.
Yeah.
She drinks out of a mug that says liberal tears. Don't forget, probably. So, all right.
Oh,
so
Lord.
now we're going to scoot on over to the boys scene where they're cooking up a diabolical plan.
Oh my God. I want an entire show of Drunk Kelly. I just want the antics of Drunk Kelly all over the world because he is hilarious when he's just a little too tipsy.
And I want a whole show of Jovi walking right into getting himself in big trouble with Yara.
That's what we're doing right now. In fact, you have it. It's called this show. It's called The Last Resort.
It's happening in slow motion.
It is. It is.
So the boys are planning their strip club outing. And of course, Jovi's like, I know a few strippers in Key West. Like, he's like, I kind of feel like he has a Matthew McConaughey vibe to him. Maybe that's why I like him so much. I know
You've said this a couple times.
From the same region. So
they're regionally from the same region. Yes, they are.
From the same region. So he's like, I don't want to get you guys in trouble though. You know, like, are you okay with me like reaching out to the strippers? I know. And I want to say, I'm not a huge fan of the term stripper. That's what they're saying. So I'm just saying what they're saying.
Yeah. At least we're not
I
calling her a lady of the night, thank God.
I prefer dancer, entertainer, yes.
Yeah,
But they say strippers, which
sure.
okay.
We'll use the language they use.
So Jovi tells us in his confessional, this is so precious. This is such a precious, precious thing to say. Couples therapy is hard work, and everybody
is.
needs a break from it. And so he needs to go to a strip club.
Jovi, first of all, you've been there for 2 days. I'm going to need you to slow your roll. Second of all the couples here, you two are going through the least amount of stuff.
I
'cause
know.
You're fine.
Well, they won't be after this.
No, they will not. When Yara watches all this, to be a fly on the wall in
Oh
that
my God.
house.
So he's talking now about a woman that was a stripper at a club that he frequented who asked him if he would take her to Jamaica. And he went on
Sure.
vacation with her.
Jovi has dated and kissed
Jovi has banged around that Gulf Coast.
He has banged
Up and down.
many a dancer, an exotic dancer.
Jovi has banged his way through that French Quarter. I mean, it doesn't stand a chance. Okay.
No, you know what we should do? We should do a field trip to New Orleans, and we should go find Jovi.
I would love to meet Jovi and Yara. I follow them on Instagram, and I keep trying to get them to acknowledge our coverage, but they haven't yet.
Okay.
But I'm working on
for an interview.
I would love to interview them.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm going to text this woman and see what her shifts are so we could go see her. So this leads me to believe that when Yara is screaming at him that you invited another woman into our bed.
Yeah.
This might be what she's talking about because it was something on his phone or something he was texting.
No, I think the other woman into our bed was just Angela, that she was in the room while she was sleeping. I think that's all it was.
I don't know. I think Yara's going to find these text messages.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
And I know Yara, and if Jovi was texting her in the bed,
that
will be, you brought another woman into her bed. She has a real Natalie vibe about her sometimes.
It's the Ukrainian thing, I guess.
It's the Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jovi's like, should we invite Big Ed? What are we going to do about Big Ed? He's the one no one wants to be here. And Jovi's like, maybe we should invite him, blah, blah, blah. So drunk Kelly speaks up. And he's like, you can invite him, but he has to apologize to me and to you. And he's like, and rule number 1, no naked on the stage. And rule number 2, you keep your mouth shut. What happens here, happens here. And then he goes into this thing about how they'll roll Ed out of the strip club.
The strip club if he's back. Just knock him over like a weeble wobble and weeble wobble him right the hell out.
I just got a Violet Beauregard vibe from that. Like when they roll her out as the blueberry.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too far from that.
By the way, I cannot unsee that Robin Brown's little girl looks just like Violet Beauregard.
She does.
It's happening.
It is. It's not. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing.
No.
Okay. So then I just wrote in all capital letters, oh my God, Jovi is texting Jasmine the stripper. So how's this going to go? And then Jovi says in a confessional, well, I'll just have to see. If Yara finds out, I'll just have to deal with it as it comes.
You're doing this on television, Jovi. All these people are like, if they find out, I'll have to deal with it. Well, of course they're going to freaking find out. You're on television.
Jovi, you're dumb. You're dumb.
Jovi is a dumb. He's a cute dumb, but he's a dumb.
He's a cute dumb, but he keeps getting in his own way. Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. So now we have another group scene. It's like the next day or something. They're all at breakfast or lunch. I can't really tell. And they're kind of split up into 2 different groups. And Kalani is educating her. It's the next day because Asuelu's hungover.
Yeah, everyone's hungover.
Mm-hmm. Kalani's educating everyone about taints and fat cats. So we have a little bit of that going on.
I was surprised at the number of people who were not familiar with taint prior to this.
Who doesn't know what a taint is?
It taint the ball. It ain't the balls. It ain't the butt. It's the taint.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what this is. So even us ladies of a certain age know this.
Even this lady of a certain age who knows nothing knows that. So Kalani wants to know, are you a licker? Have you been licked? Are we
Oh
licking
yeah.
buttholes or are you having your butthole licked?
We're going into salad tossing territory, which by
Yep.
the way, I'd like to share there is a great deal of salad tossing that happens in this house between Leo and Toby. There's a lot of
The
kittens.
cats?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They
I have to
really
tell you something. I'll put this video in the Facebook group, but my dogs have this weird thing where they do like they kind of mouth bash each
okay.
other, and I thought it was like a dominance thing. Now I'm thinking they're making out because I
Ah,
came home last night and Arlo was humping Nellie.
Arlo.
Poor Nellie, who has been humped against her will.
Oh,
She was just
Nelly.
laying there with her little bad hip.
Oh, yeah. Leo and Toby, like they'll walk down the hall with a tongue right up in the other's
Oh
business.
boy. Oh boy.
It's a lot. They'll start doing it first thing in the morning. We're like, guys, we haven't even had our coffee yet. Like, can we toss the salad later? It's too
Well, you know
much.
who likes their salad tossed and likes to toss a salad?
Mr. Ed
Small Ed.
himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, no
So
sex shame. It's just because it's him.
it's just because it's him. So he demonstrates on a flower, and Asuelu literally pukes. Well done, Asuelu. Well done.
Asuelu is us and we are Asuelu.
Yep.
That man literally vomited.
Like projectile vomited, like turned his head and vomited.
And I'm a sympathetic vomiter, so I had real problems with this, but as
All of them
apparently as
did.
is everyone else's.
Yes. So there's this scene where they're all gagging and somewhat puking, and I couldn't even watch it. So I don't even know who said anything else.
No, I had to close my eyes and get through that.
So now we also have Ed coming over to Kelly and apologizing to him and saying, I have some anger stuff I'm trying to work out. And Kelly's just like, okay, thanks. Like
Yeah.
not real receptive.
It didn't feel sincere, but it felt performative to me more than sincere. But I think Ed knows he's supposed to apologize. He just doesn't know how to.
Ed is somebody who is completely disconnected from his emotions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He just does the physical things that he's supposed to do with zero emotion behind them. It's weird. I think they call that a sociopath. So the group's
Word on the street.
They now again we have Reba, the sex educator, setting this up with Simone, the Kamasutra instructor. Like I don't know, our
Why are we
experts are
outsourcing?
here. We're outsourcing this. I don't know why.
No. Oh, by the way, did you hear that Jake and Matt are having Chicken Jenny therapist? They interviewed Chicken Jenny therapist. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming out next week.
Okay. All right. Jake did too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, apparently Matt strong-armed him into it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to that.
Yeah.
So we have some beds set up. There's like blow up mattresses. They're not even blow up. They're nice mattresses. They're all on the beach spread out into bed situations. And there's one mattress with a big blow up doll on it who has a huge erection. And that is supposed to be Michael.
We forgot to say at breakfast, Angela is literally carrying Michael around. Someone wants to sit somewhere. She's like, hold on, I'll move Michael. Like
fantastic.
What's happening here?
It's almost like absurd theater. Like I could watch it all day. It's absurdity.
Oh my God, I could actually watch more of Angela if what we did was tote Michael around on the iPad.
I love it. Because then she's
palatable.
Like, we're having breakfast, Michael. Say hello, Michael. And he's like, hello, everybody. So bizarre. So we're at the Kamasutra workshop. And Reba, the sex educator, saying like, these people need a physical connection. So that's what we're working on today. And she says, the positions are really important because you learn what the other person likes.
Yep.
Angela starts jerking the blow up doll off. Like just a sad hand job. I don't know what's happening. Jovi and Yara are acing this. Like these two are yogis. They've got this.
Yeah, they can get in. They can get into all the positions. They're doing the feathers. They're doing the thing. It's fine.
And then again,
they left this and went right back to their room and banged the hell out of each other. Yeah.
Again, I am a huge fan of absurdity. That's why I love Colty so much, because he always has like a tiny ice cream or like he's always just doing something weird. And I feel like he's amazing. And I felt that way about the Ed and Liz stuff. So all you see, you
Okay.
don't hear them saying anything. All
Right.
you see is like them just doing different positions. It was just hilarious to me. It was like they were like miming stuff and just not even talking and just like bumping
No,
and grinding. It was really weird. And they were like they just zoned everybody else out, tuned
they were in
everybody
their
else
own
out.
little world. They were
Yes.
into it. And
Yes.
there was one point though where he was lying on top of her and they were kissing and I was like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
too
Again, give me a ticket to that freak show. I'm the
much."
one who's always at the Coney Island freak show. Like I'm there. I'm there. Um
Oh.
So then we have Ed and Liz in a quick confessional, and they tell the camera, "We can teach the teacher things." I don't
Yeah.
think so. I
I
don't
don't think
believe
so.
you.
I don't think their sex life is nearly as exciting as they would like everyone to believe it is.
It's
I
probably
think it might
exciting
be
for
fine.
them.
I think it's fine. I think that's probably the one thing they do relatively well
Sure.
is sex, but I don't think they're like flying from trapezes or anything. They're
No,
not doing anything totally crazy.
no. So now we have Molly and Kelly, and you took notes on this section, correct?
Oh,
This isn't
so
a yellow jacket situation, is it? Where I
no,
show
no,
up without the notes and we
no,
have to
no.
like just raw dog it? Okay.
Well, we are sort of raw dogging it because I didn't actually take very many notes, but I can
Okay.
tell you exactly what happened because I
Okay.
watched it yesterday, so that helps. So they start doing this. They get in the initial position, which I think is what we all kind of think of when we think of Kamasutra or tantric sex of like
Like
you
the lotus.
yeah, you
Yeah.
like sit next to each other with like legs around each other's hips and whatever position you have to get into. And they're trying to do that. And they're looking in each other's eyes. And this is where it breaks down. They can't do it. They cannot connect. And they start talking about do they love each other? And she says, I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Yeah.
And he freaks out and he starts losing it. But he's like trying to hold on. You can see he's like, I'm okay. I'm
Well, and
gonna
he says, like, I feel the same, like, he agrees with her.
But later he says it many times. He's like the when he met with therapist Reba back in the room because he pieced out. He went to his room.
Mhm.
He was crying. He was all in it. And everyone else is like, "Oh, what's happening? Because we're having a lot of fun over here." Jovi and Yara are like playing with feathers. They're like, "Oh, where's Kelly going? Oh well, back to our feathers." Like
Mhm, mhm.
I'm worried, but I'm not that worried because
Yeah.
I'm getting my swerve on. But he says, "I love I." Reba asks, "Are you in love with her?" And he says, "I love her." He can't say he's in love with her because they're not in love with each other right
Right, so
now.
why did it hurt him so deeply that she said that? That's what
I
I didn't
don't know.
understand.
I don't know.
My interpretation was when she said, "I'm not in love with you," and he said, "Yeah, me too," that he just said that to her, but he really
Yeah,
is in love with
I
her.
think he's in love with her and he's trying to
Yeah.
downplay it. And I think he sees the disconnect as meaning something more. So something I've said many times, I say it to my husband, I've said it to other people I've been in relationships with. I love you all the time, but I'm really in love with you right now. Like
Mhm.
that feeling wells up and that's a different feeling than my general all the time love for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Even when I'm pissed off at Todd, I love him. I may not
Mhm.
be in love with him at that moment cuz I'm
Mhm.
pissed,
Sure.
but I
Sure.
love him all the time.
Mhm.
So I think for Kelly, he's equating being in love all the time as the same thing as loving somebody all the time.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
And he thinks if you're not in love with me all the time, then you don't love me at all. And
It's
that's
not
not
that
it.
easy. Yeah, it's not that black and white.
But Molly starts to shut down and turns on her side. And I think that was actually one of the exercises too. I'm not exactly sure. We didn't see anybody else do that, but we didn't see the start to finish for anybody. So who knows
Yeah.
exactly what each of these people were supposed
Ill.
to be
I didn't
doing.
wanna see the finish on anybody.
No, no, I hope they all went back to their rooms and enjoyed themselves in the privacy of their own room,
Yeah.
whether they were
Mhm.
with somebody or not, I don't care.
Mhm.
Anyway, she lies down and you can tell she's hurt. And he's trying and
Yeah.
he's all of a sudden he's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. And just gets up in tears and
Yeah.
walks away. And
He's
Molly's like,
really, like, super emotional these last couple days. Like, something is
he
happening here.
is. There's yeah,
He
I
could
think
be
he
doing the hangover emotional. thing,
An
you know?
emotional hangover,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and a vulnerability hangover,
Mhm, mhm.
very distinctly possible. He needs a really nice therapist. I feel like there's a lot of hope for Kelly. He just needs a really good therapist.
I really like him too, and again, we talk about this a lot, but he's gotta carry a ton of trauma from his job,
Yeah,
and he needs
absolutely.
to get that off his shoulders, yeah.
Absolutely. He needs a good therapist. He needs to find like something to do every day that brings him joy, that isn't stressful like being a cop, that just allows him to live a nice life. Because I'm sure he's got a decent pension. He's in his mid 40s. Like, he doesn't have to be done.
No, he needs to, like, Mr. Miyagi this shit and get some
Yeah,
bonsai trees, yeah.
do something. Find a
Yep.
nice hobby. But paint happy trees with Bob Ross. Whatever you
There
need
you
to do,
go, there
Kelly.
you go. Fantastic.
By the way, the first painting that Bob Ross ever did on television is auctioning right now for $10 million.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
randomly as I was cooking last night, Todd's like, "Hey, do we have an extra $10 million?" I'm like, "No, but why are we asking? What do we think we're gonna do with that?" Because
Let me check the Wells Fargo account. Nope,
right, hold up,
don't
nope,
have it.
no, we don't have that at all. He's like, "'Cause Bob Ross's first painting is going up for auction." He's like,
Mm,
"Wouldn't that be great to have?" I'm like, "Yeah, if we had 10 million lying around, sure,
yeah,
but we don't,
yeah,
so we won't be having that." But
yeah.
anyway, long story short, Kelly goes back to his room. Reba comes and meets him, and he just breaks down. He's like, I love her, and I don't know how to do this, and I just don't think this is working, and I don't think this is going to work. And then we have Molly and her own talking head, and she's crying, and she's like,
Yeah.
I just don't want us to hurt each other anymore. And that's what they're doing right now. This is death by a thousand cuts for the two of them.
Yes.
And they
Yes,
just
yes.
they just need to be they just need to say we're done.
Yeah, I don't even know why they're here.
I
They're
don't
not even in a
well,
relationship. We've talked about this.
they're here because Colty broke his leg.
Are they the fill-in or is Yara and
Jovi and
Jovi?
Yara. I think Molly and Kelly are the fill-in, but who knows? By the way, how much would you have loved Colty on this show?
Well, Colty is everything to me. I want to see him in his weird, like goat beard. Just I don't know, sitting on the counter with a mini glass, playing his slots machine. I'm here for it all with
Can
Colty.
you imagine him walking around the resort in his little like Lord of the Rings robe that he wears with his goat
Yes.
beard?
It's everything. It's everything. I would 110% be here for it.
Anytime you've recapped seasons with Colty, just you picking up the weird
Mhm,
shit he does that
mhm.
no one's
I
paying
love it.
attention to
I
is my
love it. I'm
favorite.
here for it's that I've learned about myself that I'm really amused by absurdist stuff, and Ed in his little tiny shape because they're filming him from a distance, so you just
Right.
see this little guy, like, getting on top and humping and getting off and laying down and getting humped and getting off, like, it's almost like little figurines. I don't know, it
Yes.
was just amusing to me. This is so weird. This is
Oh
so weird.
my
I'm so weird.
You are so weird. That's why I
Okay.
love you.
So now we're gonna go is that it with them?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're
We're gonna
done.
go to Kalani and Asuelu.
Holy cannoli.
Holy cannoli. Okay. So they really struggle with Kamasutra because her cooch is hanging out. My cooch is hanging out, she's yelling.
I know,
So
Jesus Christ.
then
Thank God
I
we didn't
also
see
have
it.
I don't know why I have this note here, but I have Kalani's grossed out because Ed is having sex and that's the last thing she ever wants to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's really
All right. We're
bothered
all
by
on
the
that
Ed and
page.
Liz. Yeah,
Mhm.
we are Kalani, Kalani is us. We are all together in this.
Now they are meeting with Dr. McHottie
Yes.
Jason Prendergast, and
Dr. Jason. I love how they
Dr.
call them.
Jason,
It feels very Southern to me, like, someone would call you Miss Amy or Miss Amanda.
Miss
Yeah.
Gwen.
Miss
Mhm.
Gwen. Dr.
So
Dr. Jason.
he asked them how they did at Kamasutra. Kalani says, I'm having a hard time because I'm really grossed out thinking of him boning another woman. And I'm going to call bullshit on this right now.
Okay.
She is not grossed out at the idea of him having sex with someone else. She is grossed out by him. Period. End of
She is the
sentence.
ick.
She has the ick. She is done. We've all put up, like, my first marriage, I put up with a lot of bullshit.
Yep.
And when my grandma used to always say to me, when you've had enough, you'll know it.
Yep.
And the day I had enough, that was it. There was
You
no
can't come
going
back from
back.
it.
Don't
Nope.
put your dick near me. Don't come near me. Nothing.
If you're
Because I
gonna
was
sleep in
done.
the same bed with me, get on the other side and don't
Yeah.
even think of touching me.
And that's where Kalani is.
Yep.
She's Done. Mother
done.
Debbie done.
She is Mother Debbie done.
So Kalani says she blocked off love to him because she's afraid of being hurt. And Asuelu says he starts to cry and he says, if Kalani doesn't forgive me, I feel like it's because I'm a bad guy and a bad person. She says to him, you're a good person, but you make dumb choices like we all do.
Yeah. She's
Again,
very
she's
kind to
mothering
him in
him.
this.
She's mothering him.
She is, but she's kind.
She is. Kalani says she just feels friendship for him now, and she doesn't know how to undo it.
Mm-hmm.
She's at that place.
She's done. She's
Yep.
donezo in the bunzo.
And she said she doesn't even care about sex anymore. And Asuelu says, I want to feel hope. And Dr. Mikati says, friendship isn't a bad place to be. Like, at least you got something. Poor Dr. Jason. He is working real hard here.
He is working hard for his money. But first of all, yes, he's working hard for his money. Second of all, I'm not sure what kind of therapist he is. He had hope for Molly and Kelly. Now he's got hope for Asuelu and Kalani. I don't feel like he can read a room well. Or he's not watched 17 seasons of these people previously.
I think he's paid to say this.
Just
say that you have hope for everybody. Keep the viewers coming in. Mm-hmm.
Keep the show going. We got to get through 10 episodes
He
of
can't
this
be
shit.
like, this is DOA.
Right, bye. Bye. You all go home now.
Yep. So now Kalani tells the camera that Dr. Jason says we need time, but we've had years of time. And I still don't even forgive him from the beginning. So producers like, what? What happened in the beginning?
Miss Kalani, can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
She says,
in the words of our friend Orna, say more.
Say more. Tell me more.
Say more.
Where are you right now? Where are you right now?
Yes, say more.
She says he has cheated the entire time they've been there. That they've been together, I'm sorry. When they were dating, when she was pregnant, when he came over here, 3 years into their marriage, and now. How many fingers am I holding up?
5.
Mm-hmm. At least 5 times.
At least 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That
I was
Kalani
floored
knows
by this. That Kalani
knows.
Well, Kalani said the entire time. So I'm thinking she thinks it's more women, but she was just like pulling out like the major stops. When we were dating.
Yes.
When I was pregnant.
The big ones.
When he got here.
Yep.
Like, I think if, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm not casting a moral judgment. I think if he had cheated while he was in Samoa and she was in the US, and then he came here and was a stand-up, completely monogamous, faithful dude,
she would have been able to get over it.
I think she could have gotten over it because I think she'd been like, well, we were halfway across the world from each other, and I don't love it, but I can move on. It kind of remember Ashley and Jay, where she was like, well, when he was in Jamaica, whatever, with Pussy Skins.
His father, guys, if your father is named Pussy Skins. Red flag.
Pussy Skins. SKINZ.
It's kind of like how Pedro would just fuck off to the DR, cheat on her, or supposedly, and then come back. Like, it was like that was his safe zone where nobody could see him.
When he's in the confines of the Dominican Republic, he can fuck around.
Yep.
As soon as he leaves, he has to be faithful.
Yep.
Oh my Lord. Wouldn't that be funny if we all had a country that we could go to and just like fuck off and then come back and be like, we're good.
100%.
That'd be great.
I'm wondering, like, we could all just go to Amsterdam and do whatever and come back and nobody knows.
We sure fucking could. Yeah, we sure could. Amsterdam's amazing. Okay.
Anyway, maybe that'll be a little Miss Recap trip.
I think
no questions asked.
No, we'll get ourselves a houseboat on a canal. It'll be great.
It'll be the Little Miss Recap, no questions asked tour.
Right. If there's a sock on the door, don't come knocking,
Yep.
We'll be great.
So she says, this is a pattern with Asuelu and I can't keep forgiving him. And she starts crying, like ugly crying. And she says she stayed with him. I stayed with him because I was pregnant. Like, she's really upset. Mm-hmm. And she says she thought they would be together forever. So feeling her feelings die is so sad. And she never wanted this to happen.
No, I believe that. I mean, even though I think she's left faith, she was raised a good Mormon girl. Like, she was raised in this world where she would get married and she'd have a bunch of babies and that would be her person for life. Yeah. I don't think she ever. No. I'm going to say most people don't get married thinking they're going to get divorced.
100%, yes.
But you and I got married and the first time and went, It's possible. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's certainly possible.
Well, we got divorced, and the second time we were definitely like, this is possible.
This is
Because we've lived
absolute
through it, and we know.
right.
Mhm,
I think for Kalani, she's like, I got married, so I'm married. And this
mhm.
is it till the end.
That
And
used to drive Timmy nuts because I would say all the time, like, well, if we get divorced or if we break up, and he would always
right,
be like, because I'm his first marriage, and he would always
right.
be like, why are you saying this? And I'm like,
Why are we breaking up?
you
'Cause
never know. You
you
never know.
never know.
Yeah. I feel like 17 years in, it's pretty.
You guys are probably pretty good at this
Maybe
point, but
though. Maybe. You don't
maybe
know. Like, you still don't know.
Timmy could just fuck off to DR real quick and be done.
And
You
hanging
never
out
know.
with pussy skins. I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
you
Oh,
have to
that's
go to
Jamaica.
Jamaica. You have to fuck off to Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of absurdity, the friend on the motorbike, the friend on the scooter, Natalie.
Yes. Oh yeah, she was
Jay's
absurd.
friend. That
Yes.
was absurd. Absurdist theater. A grown woman with a helmet riding a tiny little scooter and like trying to make a real dramatic exit, but the scooter only goes 5 miles an hour.
Oh, Pennsylvania with her bad like color. Oh God, I liked
Yep.
always the ancillary characters that are
Yes.
the best.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Yeah, it's the absurdist. I love it.
And then
Okay.
his buddies at the barbershop that one of them then murdered somebody.
One
So
of
you know
them
there's
is
that.
a murderer.
Jesus Christ.
Jay
It's
just
not
doesn't
funny.
know how to pick people. I don't know what's going on here.
Jay's a shitty human.
He's a shitty human.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the episode. Are you still digging the show? Like, are you still liking it?
I am. I am still digging it. As I keep saying to everybody, it's the show no one asked for, but everyone's loving.
I am too. The one thing I'm afraid of, and they need to rein this in now, is we want less Jovi taking the guys to the strip club.
Yeah.
And
more
more
therapy.
therapy. Yes. Yeah.
I want there to be more group sessions, and I don't need it to be Kamasutra.
Yes.
I want let's talk about our feelings. Let's talk about how do we learn to be good communicators?
Yes.
How do we learn to be emotionally available?
Yes.
How do we know when our partner's emotionally available? Like, I want some big lessons here more than, but I do actually want to see Jovi at the strip club, but I don't need full episodes of Jovi at the strip club.
I just
Mostly
want to see Jovi. Yes. To see how Yara reacts. Yes. I want to see Yara slap that smile right off his face. I want to see it.
After visiting his old friend in quotes.
Jasmine.
Probably
with a YN. Jasmine.
Probably. And, he banged the hell out of her all over Jamaica. So.
100% with pussy skins. Now, he would hang out with pussy skins.
I also do want to see Asuelu at a strip club. I think this will be absurd. This will go into your absurd bank because it will be like, a small child walking through a nuclear power plant or something. Like, what?
Very true. Very true. Very true. That's the thing about Asuelu. Like, he's so childlike, but obviously there's like this diabolical side of him. Not diabolical. Maybe that's the wrong word. But there's this side of him that knows how to procure sex when he needs it. I mean, he's pretty
not pure and innocent.
No. And to cheat on somebody, like, you gotta set up a plan. You gotta hide shit. You gotta, you know what I mean?
Particularly once he got to the U.S.
Although he keeps getting caught, so he probably didn't do a good job at it.
Cheating in Samoa, though, super easy.
Yeah,
just banged himself all the way around the
Except
island.
when you're a moron and you call your wife and say, "Why do I have this white tongue?"
Like from his thrush, which
Jesus.
Oh God, I still will never stop laughing at Jovi being like, "Don't kiss a stripper, you'll definitely come back with white tongue."
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. All right, my dear, we are done. We will be back in a few days with, what are we doing? So this drops on Tuesday. What comes after that?
Then you'll have
Virgin River. Yep.
And then we'll have some Yellow Jackets too, because Yellow Jackets dropped today.
Yes, it did. We're trying to get that rewatch. We're trying to get that rewatch back together. Yeah.
People will know about it by the time they hear this.
Yes, by the time you hear this, Yellow Jackets rewatch season 1, episode 5 is already on your feeds.
Yep.
So go back, enjoy that. We're having a lot of fun talking about that show. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's such a good show, and it's so fun to go back and rewatch, not recap, and talk about it in the greater context of everything we know. So it's fun.
I love it too. And Virgin River, maybe that's why I like Virgin River so much. It does tickle that absurdist bone a little bit in
Okay.
me, like because it's so like soapy and campy.
Okay,
I
cool.
love it, love it.
Yeah, someday I'll get to it.
Yeah, don't rush. You don't have to rush.
And the morning show is back. I know I told you to watch it. If
Yes.
anybody is a morning show fan, it is back. And John Hamm is here, and he is toxic as hell, which is the sexiest version of John Hamm.
Yeah, I agree.
He
I
is
agree.
the more alpha and horrible he is, the hotter he gets.
I agree. When
Yeah,
he's like
unfortunately.
dressing down Peggy, and I know it's wrong.
Uh-huh.
The bottom half of me doesn't know it's wrong.
No, the basement is flooding, or when he is all decked out in one of his suits and he's banging some lady who is not Betty Draper.
Yep.
Woo-hoo! Yes.
To
Yep.
quote Angela, the ocean's not the only thing wet.
No, that is true.
Oh,
That is
God.
true. John Hamm.
Oh God.
Gross.
Now we know we've come to the end because I've just quoted Angela.
Yeah. Okay. And on that note, people.
All right, my friend. Again, guys, if you want to hear Sister Wives coverage, jump on Little Miss Recap Extra. And like Amanda said, you also get commercial-free episodes there. And follow our show. Leave us a 5-star review. We've gotten some good ones. I really appreciate that.
Send us emails too, because we've gotten some emails.
Send us some emails. We're up for it.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda, tell everybody where they can find you.
Find me on Instagram. Also, I think I'm going to be doing some things with our good friends at Lady Day coming up. So once that happens, I'll share that as well.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Yep.
All right, friends. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.